What is up, YouTube? This is Twinkie the Trapinch bringing you an episode of Moveset Mondays. If you could please leave a like, subscribe, and comment with any suggestions you may have or with battle requests, that would be fantastic. Also, follow my Twitter in the tag below my face. And let's just hop right into this. Okay, Mightyena is a dark type blah 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 that was released in the 3rd generation. Now, looking at its stats, it's a bit underwhelming. It's base 90 is its highest stat, and that's in attack, so that's not really that great. So, obviously from its stats, it sits in a low tier, and this generation Smogon introduced a new tier called PU, which is below NU, and I believe that's where Mightyena sits right now. Yeah, it sits in PU, unfortunately. But that's not all bad, because even though it may be a low tier, it strives in that tier. Because, this thing's abilities make it a monster. Intimidate can lower your opponent's attack. I wouldn't really recommend that as a defensive set because it's not that bulky. Quick Feet's a good ability because it's like Guts for for speed instead of attack. And then Moxie, every time you score a knockout, you get an attack boost. So if your opponent's at low health, you could switch Mightyena in, get the guaranteed KO, and then you get an attack boost, and you could sweep your opponent's team. That's why Mightyena is so good in lower tiers. Now let's hop into his first moveset. The first moveset I would recommend would be a Quick Feet set running a Toxic Orb. You wouldn't want to run Flame Orb because even though for Guts the attack drop is neutralized and you're completely fine, I'm not sure if it does it for Quick Feet because it's a speed related ability, not attack, so I just go with Toxic Orb to be safe. And realistically, you're not really going to stay in long with this anyway. You're going to set up your status so you can get the speed boost, then you're going to get a KO, they're probably going to switch in a counter, and then you're going to switch out. So honestly, you're not really going to be staying. So Toxic Orb is the better item to be holding. Now, what you'd want to run in this set is Crunch for your stab, Play Rough for some good coverage, Sucker Punch for priority, and Facade. You could run Thunder Fang for coverage, but I prefer Facade because that does base 140 damage because you're poisoned, which is awesome. Now, if you're not concerned about priority, you could get rid, or Facade, either one. You could get rid of Sucker Punch if you don't favor priority, or Facade if you're not really looking to just run an extra move. You could run Protect. The good thing about Protect is since your defenses are lower, you want to guarantee that you get the Toxic Orb to activate at the end of the turn. So you just use Protect, get the Toxic, and then you're faster. Potentially, you could get KO'd before you get the Toxic Orb boost, so you definitely want to run Protect. I'd run Protect, but these are the best coverage moves you could run. For EVs, we're going to go 252 with an Adamant Nature in attack, 4 in HP, and 252 in speed. We're running Adamant instead of Jolly because you're boosting your speed anyway, so you might as well just get the max out of your attack that you can. Now, our next set is a defensive set. While I wouldn't highly recommend this, it could work considering you have Intimidate, which halves your opponent's attack, which basically doubles your defense. Now, the item you'd want to run is Leftovers because you get the passive HP recovery and you don't have a good recovery move. So, in this set, you'd want to run Super Fang, Yawn, Roar, and Crunch. You could run Sucker Punch instead of Crunch because Crunch is just there for stab, so the priority could be nice. But Super Fang is good for breaking walls. It cuts your opponent's HP in half, just automatically. It just does that. Cuts it in half. So you could break a Blissey in half if you happen to be in the same tier for some reason. You could run Yawn or Toxic, it depends. If you use Yawn, it puts your opponent to sleep after one turn, so it forces a switch. But I think, either Yawn or Toxic. I'd personally go with Toxic just to break your opponent down, but Yawn is definitely there. Roar to switch your opponent out, which is always useful. And then, as I said before, Crunch or Sucker Punch to have a damaging move and some stab. Now in this set, you'd want to go 252 HP for attack and 252 with an 252 defense with an impish nature. Now 262 may not look like a lot, but after Intimidate, you get 524 defense, I believe. Yep, because your opponent's attack is halved, so basically your defense is doubled. So you get over 500 defense. Now, if you rather some mixed bulk, you could do 120 over here and then 132 in your special defense EVs, or you could even, honestly, I wouldn't recommend it, but you could go bare bones here and still be in good shape, and you could do 252 for your special defense, and then you still have almost 400 defense, and then you get 219 special defense. I'd personally specialize and go with the more in defense, or maybe even do 120 here or 130 there like I did before. But I wouldn't totally all out just go into special defense. I'd specialize with this one, just so you can maximize the amount of damage you can take. The next set is a Life Orb set with Moxie. As I was saying before, Moxie is one of the best abilities in the game because every time you get a KO, you get an attack boost. Now, for this set, you'd want to do 252 in attack, 4 in HP, and 252 in speed with a Jolly Nature. Because your attack is being boosted anyway, you don't need to boost it even more. Might as well get the maximum amount of speed you can get because you're not that fast of a Pokemon. Base 70 is kind of slow even. I'm not sure what PU speeds are, but 70 is not that fast. So Life Orb allows you to do more damage while allowing you to switch which move you're using, unlike a choice item. And even though you're losing 1/10 HP, you're not really that bulky anyway, so it doesn't really matter. For this set, you would run Crunch, Play Rough, Sucker Punch, and Substitute. Crunch is your main stab move. Play Rough is to get other dark types and dragons, just a good coverage move. Sucker Punch, since you're going to be outsped, obviously you need to have some priority. And Substitute, if you predict a status or a psychic move or something you can resist, throw out a sub and then you can Sucker Punch from behind it and you can just mess up people's days. Because they can't hit you, you have priority, you're in a very good situation. Now the final set I have for you, I'm not really quite sure how well it would work, but it is an Assault Vest set. Now for this set you'd want to run Moxie because you're still running all attack moves, so you want to get the max amount of damage you can output while retaining some bulk. Like I said before, Crunch is your main stab, Sucker Punch is priority, and Play Rough is for coverage. Now for the final slot, if you want to run Quick Feet instead for some reason, you could run Facade, but I wouldn't. Moxie's definitely the best ability here. I'm running Thunder Fang because Fire Fang, you can hit steals with dark type moves now because it's not resisted 6th gen. Ice Fang, you can hit dragons and ground types with Play Rough. Or not ground types, but you can still hit them with that. You don't really need, you're not worried about Earthquake as much as other Pokemon are. And then Thunder Fang can hit bulky water types and flying types, which I personally think is more useful in this situation. Now for this set, you'd want to run 252 HP, 252 attack, and 4 defense. Now, if you want to with an Adamant Nation. Now, if you want to give yourself more bulk, absolutely go ahead. It's just that it might be harder because you're running all attack moves. You're not running a single status move, so you might as well do the maximum amount of damage that you can. Even here, where's your defense go up? Special defense. It goes up to 280-ish. That gives you a decent amount of bulk where you can do a good amount of damage. Instead of HP, you could also run 252 speed. That's a thing. You get a decent amount of speed. 70 is not that high, but like I said, I'm not sure what the PU standard for speed is. So, that's like decently fast, but still you're probably gonna get outsped. It's honestly a coin toss. You could go for HP or speed depending on what your team needs, but the Assault Vest definitely guarantees you'll be able to take at least one special hit. And that concludes the movesets I have for this video. Like I said before, if you liked it, please leave a like, subscribe, and comment. Follow my Twitter in the tag below, and I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you like any of the sets, please let me know if it worked out for you, because that is awesome. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day.